Most people will never understand money. Most people believe money is something you learn over time. That experience slowly makes things clearer. That maturity brings understanding. But here's the quiet truth most never confront. Understanding money is not a natural outcome of living longer. Time alone doesn't reveal how money works. It often hides it. People don't misunderstand money because they're careless. They misunderstand it because money doesn't behave the way it's explained. And explanations rarely update. Think about how people talk about money growing up. They talk about responsibility, stability, being careful. Those ideas sound sensible, but they describe behavior, not structure. They teach people how to behave inside a system without explaining how the system decides outcomes. On the surface, that feels like education, but underneath, it creates blind spots. This is where things quietly shift. People learn rules that no longer control results. And when results don't match effort, confusion follows, not curiosity, self-doubt. What's interesting is people who understand money rarely talk about it directly. They don't explain it step by step. They don't frame it as wisdom. They operate differently. They see money less as something to earn and more as something that moves. That difference matters. If you see money as a reward for effort, you chase it. If you see it as a flow shaped by systems, you position around it. Most people never make that shift because it's never presented as an option. Have you noticed how money conversations often stop at the surface? Income, expenses, savings, but rarely context, rarely power, rarely leverage, rarely asymmetry. This isn't accidental. Money understanding threatens narratives that keep systems stable. So understanding stays fragmented. People learn pieces, rules without reasons, and fragmented understanding feels complete until it fails. This is the uncomfortable part. When people don't understand money, they blame behavior. When behavior doesn't work, they blame character. But character isn't the issue. Context is. On the surface, financial success looks like discipline. But discipline without awareness reinforces patterns. People repeat what they were taught. They optimize habits that no longer move outcomes. And because effort is visible, they assume progress should follow. When it doesn't, frustration builds. Quietly. Few people stop to question this because questioning the frame feels destabilizing. It forces you to admit that clarity was never guaranteed. This is why so many intelligent, responsible people struggle with money, not because they lack skill, but because they were trained to operate, not to interpret. They know how to comply, how to plan, how to delay gratification, but they were never taught how systems distribute advantage. And distribution matters more than intention. Once you see that, the confusion makes sense, and confusion dissolves into something else. Not certainty, orientation. Orientation doesn't tell you what to do, it tells you where you are. And that alone changes how you relate to money. You stop expecting fairness from mechanisms designed for efficiency. You stop assuming effort guarantees clarity. And most importantly, you stop waiting for understanding to arrive automatically. Because it doesn't. Most people will continue believing money is just about habits. That belief is comforting. It preserves the illusion of control. But comfort delays insight. If this perspective reframes how you see your own experience, leave a comment. Not with answers, but with questions. And in the next video, we'll explore the invisible trap that keeps people financially stuck without them noticing. Understanding doesn't come from time. It comes from seeing the system clearly.